Hello, hello. Are you the villain in your own story? What if I told you that to break free from all the things that are holding you back requires only your actions? See, we like to tend to blame everybody else around us, right? And all the circumstances. But in the end, it literally only takes you to be able to break free. If you're new to me, my name is Stephanie Zima. I am the founder of the Walk It Free mentorship program, where we heal all our childhood traumas, our things that are holding us back from taking the action that we want to do. We are connecting with our personal mission, vision, and values, our inner self, our authenticity, and also our potential clients, people around us. And together in this mentorship program, we are leveling up, taking the actions that are required to win, right? That's what we're doing in there. So if you have never checked it out, go ahead and check it out, or just click the subscribe button and follow me for some more info on how we do this, right? We heal, we connect, and we level up. Okay, and today I'm going to share a hard truth with you because it's so important that we start taking responsibility. Self-sabotage is the biggest reason why ambitious women just like you struggle to have results, okay, and reach your goals. If you've ever felt stuck with fear or doubt or procrastination, raise your hand right now, because I know I have, and I am very ambitious. I am very much driven. I want to do a lot of things. I have big goals, but I find myself periodically not achieving them, right? And not doing anything. And I was wondering, like, why? Why am I doing this? And I could, for the longest time, not put my hand and my finger on it because it was buried in my subconscious. See, if you are like me, you are somebody who is ambitious, but somehow don't seem to take the action. Somehow you are not able to do what you are required to do. You are not, lead generating. You are not recruiting. You are not doing the proactive work that is required. Or maybe you find yourself on complete overwhelm, and maybe you're struggling with people pleasing. All the things that are holding you back from actually taking the action. And all of that is internal resistance. All of that is coming from a place of old paradigm issues, right? Thought patterns that are happening that are often very subconscious. And that's why you don't seem to be able to have an answer to why. Okay, when I ask you, why are you not doing the things? Often we start saying, oh, I don't have time, or, my kids are this, or, but really? Because, I tell you my CrossFit story right now. I will never say I don't have time to work out, because you can sweat more than I've ever thought I'd be able to sweat in like literally as little as like 10 minutes, 12 minutes, right? It's not the time that is holding you back. It's not any of those things. It's the fact that you have deep rooted, unhealed situations, paradigm issues, thoughts, limiting beliefs that are holding you back and keeping you hostage. They're not letting you be free, doing the things that will create freedom for you, such as being an entrepreneur, being a salesperson, creating extra income for your family. All these things are required for you to be free, right? Buying back your time. We need money. Sometimes we want to say like, oh, money is the root of all evil. No, we need money to buy back time to serve. We need money to, do things we want to do. We need money to donate to people. It's GoFundMe. We need money to do the good things in life that we want to. So, let's put that shame and that guilt aside of, oh, I don't want to sound greedy. You have to be greedy if you want to help and do good things in the world. Okay. You have to be greedy. You have to make and generate more money. Money is not the root of all evil. It's the person that has the money that decides, do I do it and use it for good stuff, or am I going to use it for bad stuff? So just work on yourself, be the person that does it and use it for good stuff, and work on those things that are holding you back, those limiting beliefs, right? Okay, so the hard truth, if we have ever been stuck there, it's because of self-sabotage. So self-sabotage is when we unconsciously get in our own way by creating obstacles to success, happiness, or growth. It is a form of literally internal sometimes subconscious resistance that keeps us stuck in familiar patterns. We are going to do always the same thing that we are used to, and we are trying to avoid the things that are not really comfortable, right? So let's start by talking about common signs, because sometimes I feel like we mix and mingle the topics. Common signs of self-sabotage are procrastinating on important tasks. Yes, we are procrastinating. And you can tell me all you want. I talk to people and they say, I'm not self-sabotaging, yet they're not doing what they're needing to do to get to the next level. So yeah, that is procrastination. Be honest with yourself. You can't change anything if you're not honest with yourself, okay? Overthinking and perfectionism is a sign of self-sabotage. If you're constantly thinking over and over and not trying, not taking the action, that is a sign of self-sabotage. Avoiding opportunities out of fear, totally being scared, not even going there. Self-sabotage. Making excuses instead of taking action. Self-sabotage. Overcommitting to things that drain energy. Self-sabotage. That one was a very tricky one. I'm going to tell you, that is what I did. I constantly, and sometimes still do, I have to be very careful not to overcommit. I want to be doing it all, and I want to say I'm doing this, that, this, but it drains the energy. So if you find yourself doing that, you have to heal. You have to take a look. Why am I doing this? Am I looking for external validation? Am I doing this to get out of it? Why am I doing this? Okay, why am I making myself so tired? What am I avoiding? You have to dig deeper. And so many of you are on that surface level, never wanting to admit. That's the problem. See, your shame and your guilt and your face that you're putting on is holding you hostage. I know you want more. I know you are wanting more and deeper connections with yourself and with others, and you want more money, and you are just ashamed to say it and do it, okay? Because you know that what it requires is you to look deep down in that shame cycle of like, why am I even doing that? Why am I trying to overwork? Because it's painful. Newsflash, you are not supposed to be comfortable. Personal development is not comfortable, okay? It's not supposed to be nice, but it's transforming, okay? It's transforming. So stop with all the fluff stuff that you get everywhere. Literally, please do me a favor. Stop with wasting your precious time with all this fluff motivation and get down and deep into this dirty, really challenging personal development growth form, okay? It's called shadow work for a reason. Shadow work is where you are looking deep down inside of you and you heal what is going on there, what is holding you back, okay? Self-sabotaging signs are also repeating toxic relationship and business patterns, repeating them over and over and over again. It's also self-sabotage. And self-sabotage is your internal resistance to something, okay? To something. Now, why do we self-sabotage? What exactly is the root cause, okay? Self-sabotage is not random. It comes from deep subconscious inside of ourselves fears and programming, okay? Some of the biggest reasons that people are struggling with that is the fear of failure, avoiding the action because failing feels just so painful, fear of success, worrying that success will bring more pressure and responsibilities, right? So fear of success, you could think, why would I be afraid of success, right? Money would be great. I want money, but why would I self-sabotage myself? Because I do want money. I do want success. So think about it. If you are already, if one of your signs is, for example, overworking and you are completely draining your energy, do you think you're going to do more to create more of the stuff coming in? If your brain thinks, I have to hustle to do all the things that I need to do, you will never take the action that require you to get more, okay? Here's how you break this though. You have to become aware of buy back your time, for example. Okay. If I want to do all this content, if I want to be teaching, if I want to be coaching, what I will need to do is I need to hire somebody to clean my house. I'm going to need to possibly hire somebody to meal prep. Maybe I need to, do something else, hire somebody for the laundry, or hire somebody for the children if that's what you need to do. Like, you have to realize that everyone has 24 hours, but it's not necessarily hour for hour. It depends on what you do and what your priority and what stage of life you're in right now. But you need to realize that having more success, having more money, and then invested it right will actually alleviate you from stress, will alleviate from having so much work. And once you start realizing that, you start understanding that you are not having to be afraid of success because you have leveled up those skills as well. Okay. You have realized that if you train the right people to do something, you level up and you delegate, you level up and you delegate, you level up and you delegate, or you buy back your time from somewhere else. That's how you do it. That's how you create more time in your day. And you're not just going to pile back on. That would be dumb, right? That would not be workable. So what else are we possibly having to consider? Why are we self-sabotaging? Some of us self-sabotage because we have a low self-worth. We are feeling undeserving of happiness, of love, or of the financial success. We don't think we deserve it. Okay. Some of us are just not willing to get out of their comfort zone because it's just really uncomfortable. Like, I'm in the middle of the CrossFit Open right now, and that's my very first, and it's very uncomfortable for me. It is very uncomfortable because I just started this. I am not the greatest person. I can only lift a little bit. I can't do a pull-up. I can't do those things, and it's very uncomfortable for somebody who's actually pretty competitive. But every time I think I'm competitive, my brain and my body says, "Ooh, you're not supposed to be competitive," because guess what? I grew up with narcissists all around me, and I've had a lot of narcissists in my marriages, and like all these things. It's like there's narcissists everywhere around me. I've like attracted them to my life because I was that person, that people-pleasing person. So clearly I have these people around me. And you're not supposed to win with them. You're not supposed to outshine them. So, in my case, and I'm going to share this full transparency with you, I've always been taught to dim my light, not shine my light bright. So when you're now putting yourself in this journey of this transformation journey, you're putting yourself into this gym where all the people are so great. And I started realizing after I got myself into this situation, I started realizing that all these people are amazing. Because here's the truth that I've learned. Yes, you get yourself out of the comfort zone. It's really hard to do. But once you did it, you start recognizing that the people that are already higher above you, the people that are already a level up or multiple levels up, they're not going to laugh at you. They're not going to ridicule you. They're not going to put you down. They're actually holding their hand out and say, "Come on, you got this. Okay. You're doing a great job. Good job." And that is what the reality is. And the more you can overcome this, I don't want to get out of my comfort zone, and get into the situation, the easier it's going to be. And the more you're going to recognize that, it's not so bad on the other side of the comfort zone. It's actually kind of nice when people cheer you on for a change, right? When people want to see you shine, when people want to see you succeed, it's actually kind of nice. And it gets addicting, and you then become addicted to your impact, right? You want to have higher quality people over and over and over in your circle, and out of the sudden, things are going to be better. Now, another reason why people self-sabotage is because they have negative core beliefs. If you, from your upbringing, have these beliefs that I am not good enough, I'll never make it, or I don't deserve this, then you are going to hold yourself back, because it's like this flea in the jar example. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but there was an experiment where they have a mason jar and they put fleas in there and they put the lid on top of it, and the fleas just learned how to jump up to that lid. Okay, and then they took the lid off, and guess what happened? Those fleas only jumped up to the level of where that lid was. But guess what? There was no lid. So technically they could have jumped higher, but they didn't because that's how they've been trained. That is the exact same thing with your core beliefs. If you have negative core beliefs, I am not good enough, you will only jump to that lid. You will only jump till where you were good enough. Okay? If you want to break through this, you have to take this lid off. You have to mentally be conscious enough that you're going to try to jump higher, recognize, wait a minute, I could jump higher, and then the sky is the limit. Okay. But you have to make this conscious. Otherwise, you are going to just only jump to where that lid is. Now, how do we overcome self-sabotage? We need to take several steps. Okay. And I'm going to share those with you right now. So, self-sabotage is not permanent. That's the good news, you guys. It's not permanent. You can totally do something about it. And here is how. First step is you have to be aware. Step one, awareness. Recognize the patterns. Where's your lid? What are you doing? Ask yourself questions. Where am I holding myself back? What excuses do I make? And what fear is underneath my inaction? Step number two, rewire your mindset. When you have this belief, you need to replace the self-sabotaging thoughts with more empowering one. So instead of saying, I always mess things up, you can say, I am capable of figuring things out. When you want to say, I don't deserve success, you can say, on the other hand, I am worthy of everything I desire. Okay? It feels awkward when you start doing this, when you start recognizing the things that your inner self says to yourself. You call it the inner critic, whatever you want to call it. When you start recognizing it, it's really uncomfortable because you start realizing just how much you beat yourself up. My gosh, you are your own worst bully. Okay. And it doesn't matter if you're building a business. It doesn't matter if you're in if you're in a relationship, if you're a mother, if you, whatever you in a job, you're your own worst bully. You are so mean to yourself. Pay attention. Trust me, you're going to go like, oh, my hair doesn't look nice. Or like, I see it on social media all the time. Everybody is like, oh, look at, and then you apologize for how you look and what you do. And it's because you are not feeling worthy of the attention. You are, it's really hard how much to recognize how much we are just going to bully ourselves. Now, step three is you need to take intentional action. Okay, do the uncomfortable thing anyway. So remember, when I was traveling a lot, that was intentionally not for me to just travel and like do this. It was intentionally to overcome my fear of not being able to make a home anywhere. Like I had to prove to myself, like if I would lose everything, because I had so much scarcity mindset, right? And I was like, if I would lose everything, if I would lose everything, could I make a home somewhere? Could I make a home anywhere in the world? Could I make a home with something small? Could I make a home with something big? What will I survive? That was the questions that I've had to overcome the fear of where am I living? Okay. And I traveled and traveled and traveled just so that I could show myself I can do this. I can set up a home and I can feel home. And it's not the place or the location that my home is. It's actually who am I in the core and what do I bring to the table is what's home. Okay. And that started off this whole journey of how do I want to feel? What do I want my home to be like? What do I want the people to be around me like? How in that same scenario, you can then transfer to your business. How do you want to run your business? How do you want your team to look like? Who do you want to have as your customers? What's the vibe going to be? All these things are important for you to actually build a brand and to make it something that is doable for you. Okay, because so often we try to adapt what we see on social media. We're trying to follow a trend, we're trying to do these things, but that's hard to do because it's not yours. You have to develop it from within in order to make it happen, and that's how you do it. Okay, so take the intentional action, do the uncomfortable thing, try it out for size, allow yourself failure Allow yourself failure. Allow yourself to try things and see if you like it. Okay. You go to the mall and try on clothes and you are okay with hanging back the jeans that don't fit. Why wouldn't we be able to do that in our life? Right? We should be able to do that. We should be trying the things out and see if we like it. And if we don't like it, we'll put it back. Right? All right. Build self-trust in keeping small promises to yourself. Say, I'm going to do this one thing towards my whatever goal and do it all the time. Do it all the time. And it's harder than you think. We say it's so easy, right? We say it's so easy. But when you actually try and start doing this action, it's really hard to do. So pick something that is really important to you, whether or not it's your health, your business, your content creation, something, and then just say, I'm going to do it, and just go do it. Okay, go do it. Celebrate the wins. Super uncomfortable for me because I come from the world of narcissism. Super uncomfortable for me to shine my light and say, look at how I am super great. Because every single time I have been accused of being the narcissist, every single time I try to celebrate my own wins and I try to tell myself how great I am, now how amazing I did this. Every single time I do that, I somehow feel like, oh, am I putting myself in the spotlight? Am I the one? Like, if that's you too, remember, you are not the narcissist because you are actually thinking about this part. They don't, okay? Just so you know. Okay, step 4. Here's the most important thing. You have to heal the root cause. If self-sabotage shows up for you all the time, it's always tied to past wounds, generational patterns, or whatever limiting beliefs that you've got going on. You need to release these old stories. You have to become aware of them and you need to release them. You need to decide different, okay? Now, how does self-sabotage affect your sales performance, right? You want to build a team, or you want to sell some stuff, or you want to just be good in your job. How does it affect it? Women in sales, in business, and self-sabotage shows up this way. You avoid, for example, outreaching because of the fear of rejection. You're not doing your reach outs. You're just not, okay? Fear of rejection. If you underprice and give discounts because of low self-worth, it's because of low self-worth, right? If you give discounts, if you underprice something, there you have it. Holding back from showing up on video, for example, because you're afraid of feeling judged, and you're stopping yourself from, you're stopping yourself before things start working out. That's a fear of success. My pattern's always been like that. I ramp things up and then I stop myself before it can catch fire. See, remember when you make a fire, you have to fan this fire flame just a little bit before it goes up, before it makes it out. Okay. And you need to do that long enough for it to actually catch fire. But if you're afraid of how to handle this fire once it's going, you need to find a solution for that. You need to find systems for that. And then your fear of success actually can get diminished. All right. So are you self-sabotaging? Has any of the things that I have shared with you hit home? Have you resonated with any of this? Reflect on it. Really reflect. What's one way I have been self-sabotaging? Drop it in the comments right now. What's one small step that you can take today to break that cycle? Drop it in the comments. And if you don't know why you're doing it, if you don't know how you can fix it, this is your cue of getting into my mentorship program, because this is what we do, okay? I had no idea for the longest time. I had no idea. Why am I doing what I'm doing? And because you have blind spots in your growth journey, because you can't see around the corner, that's why you need to have a coach that can actually do the things with you, ask you questions that you then have to answer, and reflect and identify those generational patterns. Because your brain, think about it, you can't do it alone. Your brain is so smart. Your brain is always going to keep you safe. So it's going to always offer you easier solutions than the one that actually gets the path to freedom. Okay, that's why you need to have the mentorship. If you are a business builder, if you are a woman in sales, if you want to do something with your life to increase income into your life, you must have mentorship. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, because you are not going to make it. All of you who say, oh, I don't need to have mentorship, you are still in your warm market. You are not out of your comfort zone. You are still asking your friends and family, and you are able to do the things because of that. But once you start getting out and bigger, once you start being a leader, once you're trying to be in the cold market, converting leads from other people, all these old triggers are going to be pulled. Okay. And you need someone to get you through this, because you have to heal the core. You cannot build a solid foundation. You cannot build a solid business on a flimsy, sandy foundation. You have to have a solid foundation. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So consider that. Drop me your limiting beliefs in there. Ask me for help if you need to. I'm offering free discovery sessions if you are wanting to talk to me one-on-one, to kind of see if that is something that you want, if it's something that you possibly can benefit from, or if you just have a question, or if you just want to say hi. Okay, book a free discovery session with me, and we'll talk. All right, I'll talk to you all later. Have a good day.